What are the fundamental differences in product selection between retrofit projects and new constructions for overseas clients?
The first thing we should think about is about the heating load calculation. For the old house or old buildings, typically the heat insulation for this house is not good compared with the new built house. So when we choose a heat pump product for the old buildings, we need to choose a higher capacity for the same area. And also we need to think about in the heating terminals, like for old products, you may already have radiators in the house. Because the heating terminal, the radiator, they are working, you require a higher water temperature. For when you choose a heat pump, you need to more focus on the performance of this heat pump to work with the radiator. Typically, you require a 55 or 50 degrees centigrade water temperature. But when the situation comes to a new building, for new buildings, typically the heat insulation is good, so you require less heating capacity. I think now more and more new buildings, they use floor heating. The average or typical application temperature for floor heating is around 55 or even lower water temperature. So for these new buildings, when you choose a heat pump, the customer or the designer should more focus on the heat pump product's performance on 65 degree water temperature output. We call low water temperature performance. So these are the key things we recommend to think about when we choose the heat pump product for old buildings and for new buildings. We need to think of.